That was how I met General Bamaiyi. And, I found myself in government where he was the chief of army staff. So that brought us much, much closer. I have never seen a military general with followership like him. All the generals believed in him. Even after the death of General Sani Abacha, may his soul be rest in perfect peace, all the generals rallied around him. All of them, probably except one GOC. It's one human being that has not been properly understood. He was very passionate about the military. He could do anything to protect the Nigerian military. And, he's a no-nonsense general. He's somebody that believes in loyalty. You cannot give him 99% and retain 1 for another person. General Bamaiyi will not take it. It's either with him or you are not with him. And that is one thing that I like about him. And he's one head of state that this nation has missed. I remember when he was incarceration, when he was in Kirikiri prison, he was terribly sick. And the court permitted him to travel outside the country to receive medical attention. I think he traveled to Dubai. It was an opportunity for him to leave the prison and also fly out of the country. While he was in prison, while he was in the hospital there, after he recovered, to a large extent, some of his friends contacted me that, look, tell General Bamaiyi not to come back to Nigeria, that he had the opportunity to leave the country. He shouldn't come back and face trial again. It's an opportunity for him to remain outside the country until when the administration of Obasanjo was over. And I contacted him. He just laughed and said to me, Honorable, General doesn't run. My boys are in Kirikiri. I will not leave them. That was what he told me. 2 days after, he now called me with his Nigerian line. I asked him, why was he calling? He said, well, if there's any, he has only one constituency, and that is the military. That if it means sacrificing his life, he will do it rather than to show him the military. For him to run away, he would rather, lose his life. So that was why he came back. And as God will have it, about 2 years after, he was discharged and acquitted by a competent court in Nigeria. There is politics everywhere, including the military. In fact, that of the military is even deadlier than that of the civil. Because the first to pull the trigger is always the winner. He's a grassroots man. He's always there with his people. He's also a big-time farmer. He does farming, the subsistence farming. And whatever he produces, he gives it away also. He's a very charitable person.
We are childhood friends. In fact, we started a long time ago from childhood. We started school together. Our friendship did not stop alone, in the schools and so on. We married from the same house. The same, my wife is the immediate junior sister to his wife of the same parents. And since then we've been, sometimes together, sometimes maybe work separates us and so on. So everything about Isha is only how he does with his wife that I do not know, or that he may not tell me. Me and Isha were going to join the army when we invited Musa, just like how we invited him to the college. There was a time even they caused one commotion that almost they would have killed themselves if we had followed this. People will tell Musa this and come back and tell Isha this, when it is not true. Certain times, when Musa says he was told Isha had done this and that, I'll be the one to say, look, forget about this, it's a lie. Isha is free-minded. Incidentally, again, in the family, he was more loved than all others because he has a very humble heart, so free and helpful.
You've talked about something that we didn't know about your brother. You've talked about something we didn't know about General Abacha. Now, let's zoom the lens on you now. You tell us something we didn't know about you. Shock us.
Well, about me, I think all I will say is I'm a person who does not care about what anybody says about me. Sometimes maybe I'm selfish, because once I'm convinced that something is right, I do it. I am governed and controlled by my conscience. So my life now is just to assist my church and assist children I know they have difficulty in educating themselves. That's what I'm looking for.
You have walked through life. I mean, you've seen the good, the bad, and the very ugly.
Yes.
What would you be telling people out there? What saw you through all of this, apart from your convictions and, your father's words?
You see, hard work and this matter of questions I've told you, I have never sat down to bother myself about what anybody does to me. Otherwise, I would have had so many enemies. If I tell you I don't have enemies, do not believe me. But I say I don't have enemies because I don't think of vengeance on anybody. Whatever you do to me, I will say, well, God will see me through. And that has been what has been helping me.
If Providence gives you another opportunity to go back in time to make some amendments and make some corrections or make adjustments to life, is there anything you would have done differently?
The truth is this, I have never had regrets in my life. So as far as I'm concerned, if God gives me another chance, I'm following the same
route.
route.
You still become a teacher for 3 months, go away without notice.
Yes, we do it on my own. Maybe I go on my own. Honestly, I've never had cause to regret anything in my life. And I think that is why God has been so wonderful, very merciful to me. I've gone through so many things that ordinarily.
And you keep dodging the bullets.
Well, it's not the bullets now. You see, for example, I had an accident and I was 8 days unconscious. I survived that. I had an air crash when I was chief of army staff. I survived it. As you see me here, I had cancer of the colon. I was operated upon for 5 hours, and I'm now free of it. I suffered coronavirus. I was at hospital for 2 weeks. Even governors gave up that I will not survive. So you can see that as far as I'm concerned, I'm a special child of God. I know I lost 2 of my hospital to COVID-19. So I look at myself, what else do I want from? God has done everything for me. The only thing I've not seen actually is that I'm going to die, but the good, bad, and all that you said, I've seen it all. So you can see that my gratitude to God is unlimited.
They say generals don't cry. Generals, they mask their emotions. Has there been any time where you had to unmask your emotions in life?
Yes, I think I had. And that was when I was in prison. I lost my immediate junior brother, Bitfos. And what made me cry is that he was asking everybody, I'm having my emotions now. Where I was. And when I knew I was not going to sing again, and nobody could answer that question. He knew I was in prison. So that relationship, for him to be thinking about on his deathbed, what touched me. And I think I cried. That's something. It's something that I will not forget. That was the only time I think I cried.
And if you have to say something to him now, what would you be telling him?
Nothing, just rest in peace. That's all. And his family is in safe hands, so it's all right.
All will be well. And by God's grace, you will live.
Be there.
You would live longer than you expect. In good health. Amen. Favorite quotation?
No wahala.
Oh, is that Oh
Well,
my.
my quotation is do unto others as one others do unto you. That is all I live for.
Great. And so on that note, we want to say thank you so much for having us come have a conversation with history with
I
you.
appreciate it, and I'm very grateful.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Sure, I did.
What part of it did you like the most?
All of it. All of it. I won't say I like it, but I think I like all of it. There are some things you touch. Kadam.
What is that, please?
Small.
Like where?
No. You are taking me back. We'll finish the interview.
Oh my goodness. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And so on that note, we want to say thank you so much for being part of this week's edition of Conversation with History. This conversation. Until next time, when we come your way, it's been Conversation with History. I'm Fekla Wilkie. Bye for now.
Seven days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Latest entrant, latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Intel. Live more.
Welcome to Africa, the land of innocent civilization.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Najat Tijani. Remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media handles. Let's begin with news from the State House, where the Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, says with Nigeria projected to be the third most populated nation in the world after India and China by 2050, the country deserves a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. Addressing members of the Legislative Mentorship Initiative on a learning visit to the State House over the weekend, Professor Gambari said Nigeria cannot be ignored in the international affairs, considering its contributions to international peacekeeping and economic potential. The Chief of Staff also declared that President Buhari will be remembered for leaving a legacy of free and fair elections, as well as massive investment in infrastructure across the country, as he has laid a solid foundation for youth empowerment. On Nigeria's quest for the expansion of the 15-member Security Council, Gambari, who has served as Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, permanent representative to the UN in New York, and first Under-Secretary General and Special Advisor to the UN Secretary General on Africa from 1999 to 2005, told the young people on excursion to the State House that the campaign for a permanent seat in the United Nations National Security Council will find enormous support because of its people and potential. The United Nations UN Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations, Jean-Pierre Lacroix, says he's seeking increased participation of the Nigerian Armed Forces in the ongoing peacekeeping operations spearheaded by the United Nations. The UN Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations stated this while on a working visit to the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, at the Defense Headquarters, noting that the dwindling security, increasing security challenges in most of the UN missions across the globe requires more collaborative efforts between the UN and affected countries.
The most important partners of the United Nations, certainly a critical partner when it comes to peace efforts in Africa. So we count on your country, and we're extremely grateful for the support that Nigeria extends to the UN and in particular to UN peacekeeping.
Fully appreciates your work and the entire UN system for the contributions it made to the stability of the world and the African region in particular.
The Chief of Defense Staff acknowledged that Nigeria's deployment of troops in past UN peacekeeping operations has enabled the force to build a much-needed defense capacity to address emerging security threats. Presidential candidate of the PDP and former Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, has issued a statement. Atiku Abubakar has issued a statement congratulating former President Olusegun Obasanjo for ending the Ethiopia-Tigray conflict. In the statement, Atiku notes that Africa is blessed to have a statesman of such impeccable democratic credentials as Chief Obasanjo, whose image ought to be on the redesigned Naira note to inspire future generations of Nigerians to sacrifice for their nation and continent. Commending former President Obasanjo for always being a peacekeeper as demonstrated during his tenure as president, intervening in conflicts in Liberia and in Sao Tome and Principe, Atiku says, quote, "On behalf of my family, I congratulate you, President Olusegun Obasanjo, for successfully ending the Ethiopia-Tigray conflict, and I thank God for the gift of wisdom and foresight He has given you, which you have used to steer Nigeria and Africa on the right path." End of quote. The Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila says his legislative mentorship program hopes to inspire and shape the minds of Nigerian youth to provide valuable leadership skills. At the graduation and conferment of fellowship on 74 trainees drawn from the 36 states and the FCT, the Speaker noted the trainees have been equipped with responsive leadership skills, knowledge and expertise to enhance public service and foster national cohesion.
We have so much potential in this country. I wouldn't trade it for any other place. Both material and natural and human resources. Unlock that talent which God has given you and contribute to the development of Nigeria.
The 74 trainees were selected from about 4,000 who applied to participate in the maiden edition of the mentorship initiative. World leaders are in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt for the biggest climate conference, COP27, to define pathways for climate action to meet net zero carbon emission targets. However, a potential conflict looms as Nigeria insists that polluters must pay through adaptation finance. Onenge Fineface reports.
The long-awaited COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt is near upon us, and the global community is gathered here for negotiations expected to turn promises into action and make those deep commitments needed to resolve the climate crisis destroying the world.
Nigeria is focused on our negotiations in partnership with fellow African countries. In recognition of what we agreed in Kigali, what we call Kigali Declaration, and of course what we also agreed in the Absent Declaration, to focus on afforestation, to focus on climate finance, to focus on the need to mitigate desertification, and of course to emphasize on loss and damage. It is important, it is key to addressing some of the challenges in Africa.
Now, beyond the activities of the ministry, some Nigerian youth are on ground to learn the skill of negotiation and also add their voices to global clamor for action to protect African continent.
We are looking at how our government is going to put a position that is not going to exclude us when it comes to implementation, but is going to include us when it comes to implementation back home.
The climate adaptation finance should be made available to even the most vulnerable, because sometimes they don't even have this intervention plans. They are not even aware. Sometimes that intervention is there, but since they are not aware, they don't even know how to assess it.
A major concern for the African continent and for Nigeria especially is support for mitigation, adaptation, and building resilience of people who are often inundated by climatic extremes. From Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, NTA Fine Face. NTA News.
Back home in Nigeria, the federal government has reiterated its commitment to providing adequate facilities which will boost the quality of education in the country. This was during the inauguration of an administrative block constructed by the Ministry of Education at the Federal Government Girls College, Owerri, Imo State. Bright Ibucho reports.
A tireless advocate dedicated to pursuit for justice.
This visit by the Minister of State for Education, Goodluck Nanaopia, to the Federal Government Girls College Owerri is to have an on-the-spot assessment of facilities in the newly completed one-story administrative block, which is part of efforts by the Federal Ministry of Education to ensure a conducive teaching and learning environment.
The administrative block, which I met when I came on board, was one of those inherited structures, and it was near dilapidation.
It's a great honor for him to leave his busy schedule to come to our school to commission our new administrative building.
The minister, while commending management and staff of the college for their commitment to duty, assures that the federal government is taking steps towards making the teaching profession more appealing through extension of retirement age from 60 to 65 years. He says bursary award for students who want to study education in federal higher institutions and employment for deserving students are part of measures by the Ministry of Education to improve the quality of teaching and learning.
There should be a dialogue of ways and means of funding education in the overall interest of everybody.
The newly completed one-story administrative building is part of efforts by the Federal Ministry of Education to ensure that education occupies its pride of place in the country. In Owerri, Bright Ibuchu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Northeast Development Commission says its partnership with the Nigerian Society of Engineers will be deepened to facilitate rapid development of the region. The managing director of the commission, Mohammed Goni Al-Ali, stated this when he received the president of the society and its officials. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
The level of devastation occasioned by insurgency in the Northeast left much to be desired. Hence the establishment of the Northeast Development Commission by President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure the total rebuilding of the region and give the people a new lease of life. Since the establishment, the Commission has been engaging critical stakeholders to realize the said objective. This meeting between the Commission and the Nigerian Society of Engineers is to further harmonize all effort at making sure that the hope of the people is rekindled.
We have concluded our master plan, which covers a lot of activities. There are 530 projects in program in the master plan, which I'm sure almost all of them need some engineering input one way or the other. And this is where I think we need more of the engagement.
President, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Tasio Saad Gidari, said the society is resolved to render all forms of assistance that will bring back the hope of the people.
Our purpose of visit today is to work out modalities of strengthening our existing MOU.
The Northeast Development Commission is mandated to provide structural, economic, and human development of the region for the overall transformation of the entire region. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Let's now join Michael in Lagos for more stories on Nationwide.
Nigeria will continue to demonstrate resilient efforts towards achieving a sustainable food production network and conducive business environment that will attract foreign investors. This was echoed at the 36th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair organized by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI. Dana Jala reports that The fair was declared open by President Muhammadu Buhari.
That heralds the official opening ceremony of the Lagos International Trade Fair 2022, 36th in the series. The fair was declared open by President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, who took a tour of various stands. The opening ceremony also featured an interactive session where the minister shed more light on different strategies put in place to promote friendly business environments for all.
We can go to the future direction of our country and to an ending sector that will be very forward. We can create a house that is open to all and push the country at the gateway to sub-Saharan Africa and beyond.
The host and Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu reiterated the state's commitment at ensuring appropriate policies that will make businesses flourish. Lagos International Trade Fair is the foremost and largest fair in West Africa, which play host to thousands of manufacturers and exhibitors annually. Organized by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry (LCCI), the theme for this year is Connecting Businesses, Creating Value. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Executives of National Basketball Association (NBA) are in Nigeria to further develop the game of basketball with focus on boys and girls, especially at the grassroots. Olumide Oguntola reports.
Nigeria has been a strategic market for the National Basketball Association (NBA) of the United States for decades, with incredible achievements on and off the court. To further spread its tentacles to all parts of the country, which is a catalyst for development of the game in Nigeria, Africa and beyond, the executives of the association was in Nigeria to take the game to the next level with various activities.
Speaks to our continued commitment to growing the game of basketball in Nigeria, strengthening the basketball ecosystem, connecting with our fans, and building up the NBA brand and activities in Nigeria.
Creating opportunities for boys and girls to learn the fundamentals and core values of the game, while fortifying the Nigerian basketball ecosystem, is a driving force.
We're touching on all the different geopolitical zones in Nigeria, and that means that we have to make sure that we have programs available in schools all over Nigeria. So part of what we're doing is going to be to engage with state governments to work with them to ensure that we can introduce our junior NBA programs to different schools all around Nigeria.
Amadu Fall is the president of Basketball Africa League.
People across the African diaspora around the world, they're paying attention, they're aware of the league, and they want to attend some of these games. We will once again start next year in 3 markets and culminating with the finals in Kigali in May.
The executives of NBA were pleased that Nigeria's national team can once again compete at international events. In Lagos, Olumide Oguntola, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news continues from Abuja Network Center. Please stay.
Our country one better. Our country one better. Who go do one for us? Mama talk and move. Mama talk and move. For a better Nigeria. Good life come. Now you we want to. Now you we need oh.
Yes, so people of Nigeria, they jolly for the better when one shell for we country. So as they ready to vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as the next president of Nigeria. Our people don't look the matter well. Say na only Bola Tinubu don't do what everybody fit see. Now you get the experience where you go fit use take make our country better, make life sweet for we and our picking them. Bola Tinubu don't gather better plan to chase down war for we youth, better school, the security of lives and property, unity and peace for all we country people of Nigeria. But these and many other better things when in don't vocalize. It good make we all vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party where show broom. Now you know.
Good morning, Nigeria. Year after year, they have been informed, educated, and entertained of. When you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
Generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
And now, this service will finally be recognized.
Right?
This November, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and unflinching excellence in the broadcast media. They have served and are still serving. It's time to say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON. For more details, log on to www.tnawards.ng and follow our social media handles at TNB Awards.
You think I don't know why you brought me to that place? You humiliate me?
Willa?
Hold me back there. Give me to that. I spoke to her so sternly. You spoke? Women need a bit of tapping. Don't tell me you're one of those men that beat their wives.
Super story, super story, super story, super story.
If you're just joining us, this is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA live in Abuja. The National Emergency Management Agency has taken delivery of medical consumables worth ₹500 million donated by an international Christian charity organization, MAP International, as support for persons affected by the disaster in the country. The Director General of the agency, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, while inspecting the medical supplies in Abuja, disclosed that the items would be deployed to medical facilities across the 36 states and the FCT. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
MAP International is an American-based charity organization that has been deploying medical support to victims of insurgency, hurricane, flood and fire, among other disasters across the globe. The charity organization has now extended its support to the 2022 flood victims in Nigeria. The NEMA DG appreciated the organization for the donation and acknowledged the support and collaboration of other agencies like NAFDAC that facilitated the clearance of the items. The NEMA boss promised to ensure equitable distribution of the items to the beneficiaries.
This is medical supply coming from MAP International based in Atlanta, Georgia. The supply does medical equipment ranging from medicines, medical consumables, personal protection equipment, PPEs. Is going to be distributed across the vulnerable states.
The medical consumables are to alleviate the health issues occasioned by the 2022 flood devastation across the country. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Similarly, the Northeast Development Commission (NEDC) has distributed essential items including food to flood victims in Adamawa State to cushion the effect of the disaster. Yusuf Chika reports.
Over 174,000 persons in 254 communities of Adamawa State were affected by the flood disaster this year. To cushion the effect of the flooding, the Northeast Development Commission has presented relief items to Adamawa State government for annual distribution to the affected communities. The NEDC Managing Director Muhammad Koni Alkali said the gesture is part of the World Humanitarian Day earlier observed.
We're reaching to the state government, asking on how we are going to collaborate to sustain the situation as it is, and I'm sure the state government will very soon give us areas that need to be intervened.
Governor Amadou Marufentri of Adamawa State commended the foresight of the federal government in the provision of relief items.
You've always been with us and you've always acted timely.
Items shared are 10,000 bags of 25 kg rice, 3,000 gallons of vegetable oil, blankets, mats, children's wears, wrappers, among others. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Still on humanitarian aid, the wife of the APC presidential candidate, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has donated 50 million naira to flood victims in Bayelsa State after seeing the level of devastation caused by the flood and the hardship faced by the people. Ebinmi Zitimiola reports.
The wife of the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Tinubu, and Senator representing Lagos Central, Oluremi Tinubu, on arrival at the Igbogini helipad, headed straight to the Bayelsa State Government House before proceeding to the Osbo Lake and Igbogini Secondary School displaced person camps. Moved by the humanitarian crisis, Mrs. Tinubu donated bags of grains, cartons of noodles and other supplies to ameliorate their sufferings. A medical team was also stationed at the Igbogini camp to take care of the medical needs of the people.
We are here because of what happened and we saw all the devastation. We came in with food supply, medical supplies for the people because we know they will need that at this time.
More than that, Senator Tinubu donated 50 million naira for the distribution of 50,000 naira each to 1,000 families to start small-scale business of their choice.
When devastation like this occur, businesses will suffer. So we brought a recapitalization money, business money grant for the people of the state.
We will invite the families of these people that really need this money and will be giving out this money publicly.
The wife of the APC presidential candidate, in company of the Minister for State Petroleum Resources, Chief Timi Pre-Silva, also paid a sympathy visit to the monarch of Epie Kingdom, King Mala Sasime. Ebinimi Zitemiola, NTA News.
On the political scene, the Ibadan Mogajis have thrown their support have thrown their weight behind the Tinubu-Shettima presidential ticket in the forthcoming 2023 general elections. The Mogajis made their position known at the Rontex for BAT political signature endorsement held at the sports complex of Ilaji Resorts and Hotel in Ibadan. Lukman Hassan reports.
On the candidature of the Tinubu-Shettima ticket, the Mogajis noted that they possess the quality needed to transform the fortune of the country to a greater height. The Mogajis, who are representatives of various households in Ibadan, explained that the antecedents and contributions of the All Progressive Congress candidates has shown that they are men who will match their words with action.
We've been watching Kenley, the character, the nature, the disposition, and the relevance of the candidates for now, and that KBC will make a pronouncement when it is time.
Conveners of the endorsement and other support group for the Tinubu-Shettima ticket said that their choices could not have come at a better time to bring more dividends to the country than now.
And once the Mogaji has agreed to that in Ibadan land, you know it's a done deal.
Of
whatever they want from Tinubu, all what he said is going to make sure they come to manifest.
The endorsement of the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Tinubu-Shettima was heralded with the presentation of duly signed document of over 10,000 Mogajis in Ibadan. The endorsement was also attended by thousands of party faithfuls in the 11 local governments within the Ibadan metropolis. Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
The women's wing of Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide says it has not pitched its political tent with any presidential candidate for the 2023 election. The national woman leader, Rita Daniels-Chukwuji, at a press meeting in Abuja, says only a leader who takes youth and women empowerment seriously, along with women's health needs, will have the group's support.
We have not made a choice of our candidates. The mothers of Igbo land, we have to hear from the candidates what they have in stock for Igbo nation. Exactly. The women at large. Very correct. Any of the candidate that brings any good thing to the table for the Igbo nation and the women is who we are going to choose as our candidate.
Claiming that the women's wing of Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide is set again to play active roles in the country's next general election and do the needful towards a better future for the nation, Rita Daniels-Chukwuji says the group is still at the consultation stage. Media practitioners have been charged to support the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to deliver fair and acceptable 2023 general elections. The National Commissioner, Information and Voter Education Committee of INEC, Festus Okoye, made the appeal during the 2022 Chief O.W. Udo Memorial Lecture of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. John Paul Alumona reports.
Strategic communication and credible 2023 electioneering in Nigeria form the basis of the lecture held at the instance of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, Akwa Ibom State, where Festus Okoye, INEC's National Commissioner, read out changes in the 2022 Electoral Act and how bimodal voter accreditation system BVAS will be used to ensure free and fair elections in 2023.
To conduct free, fair, and right and inclusive elections. And we make sure that only the vote of the Nigerian people will be the only standard.
Stakeholders commended INEC for their innovations ahead of the 2023 general elections, insisting that the smooth conduct of the elections will impact positively in the future direction of the country.
You cannot expect a good government when you do not elect a good leader.
Festus Okoye, who came all the way from Abuja to give us such a brilliant and scintillating and thought-provoking lecture.
If what we have had tonight is going to be implemented, then a whole lot of burden has been taken off the shoulders of the security agencies.
Media professionals and members of the political class attended the event, which honored some persons for their outstanding contributions to the development of the NIPR in Uyo. John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
Thank you, John Paul. The General Officer Commanding 81 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Obinna Ajunwa, says exercise Still Waters in Lagos and Ogun states has been extended to cover the 2023 general elections and the National Population and Housing Census to provide adequate security for Nigerians. Lekon Agbonde reports.
Inspecting the exercise Stillwater camp located at Buhari Estate, Okemoson, along Kobape Road, Abeokuta, Major General Obinna Ajunwa says the camp is committed to ensuring peace within its coverage areas. He explained that the main purpose of the exercise Stillwater is to strengthen the nation's security towards improving security in Nigeria.
It depends on have we been able to achieve our objective. If we have, do we need other objectives that we want to achieve? Possibly yes. And then we also create the situation, a good environment for the election that is coming up in 2023, so that the populace will have confidence to go about their normal business.
We assured Nigerians that the synergy existing between the Nigerian Army and other security agencies will be sustained for peace and unity among Nigerians.
The National Population Commission in Kogi State has presented its compendium of localities ahead of the 2023 National Population and Housing Census. Correspondent Solomon Ayediin reports that evaluation and analysis of this is necessary to ensure the success and legitimacy of the census in 2023.
The National Population Commission began the enumeration area demarcation preparatory to the 2023 National Census across the country in 2014. In Kogi State, the exercise kicked off in 2016 and captured 4,270 localities in the state, while 33,284 localities were registered across the North Central. The two-day workshop on compendium of localities displayed by the NPC officials is to enable interest groups effect necessary correction before the final submission.
Trying to ensure that all the locality areas within each local government have been appropriately documented in terms of spelling and proper location.
There is definitely a timeline, and it's just maximum of 1 week, not more than 1 week. Because we also need to look at what they have done and then submit to our headquarters.
Stakeholders, in their various input, commended the Commission for its commitment towards a successful digital census next year.
Census is key as far as elections are concerned. It deals with number of persons. This particular flood of this year caused it to question the need for us to go back to basics and studying our population dynamics again.
On flood-affected communities, particularly Ibaji local government area of the State National Population Commissioner, Professor Jimo Habibat Issa, stated that the people of the area will be counted no matter the situation. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehin.
For more reports.
Good evening and welcome to Port Harcourt. Nigeria, as a democratic nation, provides citizens with the constitutional power to vote and participate in electoral processes irrespective of their sex, religion, socioeconomic background, or status. As activities for the 2023 elections gathers momentum, what are the rights and responsibilities of the voter before, during, and after the elections? Chidi Beronya will tell us more.
Elections in Nigeria is a process of choosing leaders where citizens of voting age have right to vote and be voted for. Oftentimes, the electorates do not know what exactly their rights are concerning the electoral process. Some of these rights include right to register, right to vote, right to privacy when voting, right to information about elections, and right to recall an elected representative, among others.
You have the right as a Nigerian citizen to be registered, to collect your PVC, to go to the polling unit peacefully, not to be induced, but to vote for the candidate of your choice, and then to see your vote counted. These are rights that are inalienable. Anybody who denies you this is infringing on the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The era of shying away from this responsibility is over. If we want Nigeria to work, we should go out and vote.
On the other hand, electorates through voter education awareness programs will get to know what constitutes electoral offences and their penalties.
Snatching of ballot boxes and all that, so they shouldn't indulge in that. They should just go peacefully vote their preferred candidates and go back to their house.
I will tell the people they shouldn't sell themselves, they shouldn't sell their votes. Money is not everything.
Our desire and our wish is that all those who registered during the continuous voters registration exercise and all those who registered prior to the 2019 general election should turn up on election day and exercise their democratic mandate.
Beyond the hope of the emergence of transformational leadership that will change the country's fate in the forthcoming 2023 general election, electorates are advised to be abreast with their rights and responsibilities for a free, fair, and credible polls in Nigeria. In Port Harcourt, Chidiebere Onyia, NTA News.
The new Commissioner of Police at the Eastern Port Command, Port Harcourt, Tony Olufo, has promised to improve the welfare of personnel under his command. He has also pledged to improve on his predecessor achievement. Gabriel Amunike reports.
I hand over everything concerning Eastern Port Police Command to you, the new CP, Tony Olufo.
The security situation at the eastern ports, comprising Port Harcourt, Onne, Calabar, and Warri, have in recent years reportedly been monumental, resulting in increasing cargo patronage and economic activities. The new commissioner promised to leverage an existing structure to provide adequate security for businesses within and around the port environment, in addition to improved staff welfare and trainings.
We want to do everything towards ensuring that the peace and tranquility needed for transactions at the port sustains. I will improve on the level of commitment, dedication, and effectiveness of my predecessor, and take it probably to a higher level.
Outgoing Commissioner AIG Evelyn Peterside advised the new commissioner and other personnel to apply professionalism and transparency in discharge of their duties.
To learn to be hardworking, loyal, sincere, honest, not deceitful, take their work seriously. When you do this, and professional above all, there is no way you will not succeed.
Until his deployment, Abuja. In Port Harcourt, Gabriel Amunike, NTA News.
And that's it from Port Harcourt. Nationwide continues in Sokoto after the break.
The Nigerian Television Authority NTA, in collaboration with Havel Corporate Concept, presents Beyond the Debate, a series for all the 18 presidential candidates in the 2023 general elections to present their manifestos and visions to the Nigerian public as a social contract. Beyond the Debate will broadcast live on the network service of the NTA and stream on YouTube and other social media platforms beginning from 10th November 2022. The publicly signed manifestos by the candidates will be uploaded on this portal, www.summitofpoliticalparties.org. For further inquiries, please contact Dr. Badanga 08033173488, Howard 08033121022.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Good evening and welcome to Sokoto on Nationwide. Muslims have been advised to demonstrate good behavior to reflect the true meaning of Islam. This was coming at the opening ceremony of a 3-day engagement for the members of the Dawah Coordination Council of Nigeria across the country and beyond, held in Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Dati completes the report.
The event is meant to brainstorm and build capacity on the best way to conduct da'wah, as well as to deliberate on challenges facing the Muslim Ummah. President Dawah Coordination Council of Nigeria, Malam Muhammad Ndigbo, underscored some of the contributions of the council that include education, malaria education awareness, among others.
And also will enlighten the Ummah, the most important aspect of the unity of Allah, and also peaceful coexistence and understanding among the people of Nigeria and India.
In their separate remarks, Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar, represented by District Head of Sabandani Alimi Makidu and Emir of Argungu, Ismail Muhammad Mera, commended the organizers and called for more effort towards promoting unity among Muslims. A renowned Islamic scholar, Dr. Abdullah Hakim Quick from Toronto, Canada, presented a paper on strategic intelligence, a panacea to the challenges facing Islamic work in Nigeria. He emphasized the need for Muslims to demonstrate good behavior as the best way to make a non-Muslim appreciate Islam. Secretary General Dawah Coordination Council of Nigeria, Kamal Juba, applauded participants and prayed Allah to reward them abundantly. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
The Kebbi State Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has reiterated commitment in ensuring that inflow of contraband into the country through the two main borders of the state is effectively checkmated. The area controller in the state, Joseph Atta, stated this while briefing newsmen on the recent interception of assorted contrabands worth millions of naira in Benin Kebbi. Correspondent Abrahamic reports.
Since the opening of Kambo border in Kebbi State, the command has remained focused on generating more revenue to the federal government and ensuring that contrabands are not smuggled into or outside the country, as demonstrated severally in the past. The latest in that regard was the display of such contrabands, including second-hand clothes, Indian hemp, foreign rice, assorted vehicles, bleaching cream, premium motor spirit, among other items worth about 100 million naira.
Smugglers are enemies of states. Each time you support them against security agencies, especially customs, know that you are opening your doors to things that can compromise your security, your well-being, and your economy.
The command therefore handed over 284 parcels of seized drugs to the Kebbi State Command of the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency for further action.
It is only God that knows the repercussion if this drug had entered into the market. What it will have cost our youth, the individual drug abuser, the family of the drug abuser, and the society at large.
In appreciation of the effort by the customs boss, Kebbi State Command, he was conferred with an insignia confirming him to be an ambassador of war against drug abuse. In Birnin Kebbi, Abrahamic, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and all other social media handles displayed on your screen. And that's it from here. It's back to Nigerian in Abuja for the continuation of the news.
Thank you, Asma. We are talking gender matters now, and gender activists are advocating the strengthening of legal frameworks to prevent women from domestic violence and other forms of social abuse. This came to the fore at a one-day lecture organized by Mending Homes Foundation to raise awareness against gender assault. Juliana Nicholas reports.
Available statistics by the World Health Organization shows that more than 700 million of women have suffered one form of abuse or the other globally. Nigeria, like many countries, has recorded cases of gender-based violence. Common amongst these are wife battering, widowhood, and genital mutilation. This is promoting action by the Mending Homes Foundation in collaboration with the Ministry of Women Affairs to turn the tide.
For me, I went through domestic violence for 11 good years.
A lot of women is going through violence in their marriage. So if there are consequences, if men know that there are consequences against this act, they will put a stop to this act.
When we're talking about violence against women, it doesn't only affect the female folk, it also affects the society at large.
At this event, experts say gender-based violence is alarming and it is not tied to any particular society, economic status, or social sphere, but it is a menace which must not be allowed to overrun societal values and norms. Juliana Nicholas, NTA News.
Thank you, Julie. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA Ekiti Command, has destroyed 4 hectares of cultivated cannabis. The Deputy Commander of the Narcotics Operations and Investigation Team, Ibrahim Kabiru, led the security team into Ire Ekiti Forest for the sting operation. Adobeji Ojeba reports.
The security team, assisted by locals, came prepared as the drug agency took the battle against narcotics production to their doorsteps, leaving no one in doubt that they are ready to wipe the production, distribution, and consumption of illicit drugs from the streets of Ekiti State. The 20-kilometer walk through the forest of Ire Ekiti saw men of the command cutting down plants grown by the criminals and putting fire on the plants to destroy and discourage persons involved in the illegal cultivation of the plant. The Deputy Commander, Ibrahim Kabiru, says landowners will now be arrested and prosecuted alongside arrested culprits in the state.
We are here to ensure total destruction of this farm so that nothing will be moved out from this place to the illicit drug market.
8 suspects were also arrested, while a total of 1,465 kilograms of cannabis sativa were recovered. The Deputy Commander, Kabiru, says this was made possible through investigation and tip-off from members of the public. Men of the State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have been making headway in the area of eradication of drug abuse in the state. In Ado-Ekiti, Adogbeji Ojeba, NTA News.
Up next is Sports Update.
Team Nigeria put up a dominant performance on day 1 of the Squash Africa Senior Championship in Zimbabwe as the men's team recorded respective 3 new wins over Rwanda and Namibia, while the women overpowered Zimbabwe 3-0 and lost by the same margin to South Africa to move into the second round. The tournament, which features 9 participating countries, ends on November the 12th. Meanwhile, Nigerian champions Bayelsa Queens could become the first Nigerian team to make it to the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League, where they face Egyptian side Wadi Degla in their last group match in Morocco on Sunday night, having started their campaign at the CAF Women's Champions League on a shaky note, losing 2-1 to cup holders Mamelodi Sundowns. The Prosperity Girls got their campaign back on track with a crucial 2-0 victory over TP Mazembe on Thursday, and a win in tonight's game will see them become the second West African team to reach the last 4. Elsewhere, Arsenal boosted their title credentials on Sunday afternoon as Gabriel's goal gave them a crucial 1-0 win at Chelsea, which saw them return to the top of the Premier League. The Gunners' Brazilian centre-back touched in Bukayo Saka's corner midway through the second half to earn Mikel Arteta's men the priceless 3 points. The result means the Gunners have re-established their 2-point lead at the top of the table with just 1 game before the World Cup break. With sports update, Bade Adeleye, NTA News.
A Tanzanian passenger plane has crashed into Lake Victoria as it attempted to land in the lakeside town of Bukoba. Reports say the Precision Air flight was carrying 43 people, 26 of whom have been rescued and are now in hospital. Rescue workers and local fishermen are on the scene still searching for survivors. The plane is almost completely submerged with only the brown and green tail fin above the water, surrounded by rescue workers and fishing boats. Emergency workers are using ropes to try and pull the ATR-42 aircraft out of the lake, Africa's largest lake, Victoria. And that concludes the news on Nationwide. Thanks for watching. Remember to keep standing against rape and rapists.
Days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Welcome to Africa, the land of ancient civilization.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the You Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
This is the network service of the NTA.
You are welcome to Abrahamic Mission. Abrahamic Mission is a special program that is designed to enlighten us about the two main religions we have in Nigeria, Christianity and Islam, and like we had the other time, and also Judaism. That is when we have it. The essence here is not to say which one is better or which one is good, but for us to appreciate and understand ourselves, to know how they do their things and what each cherish and what they like, so that we can have harmonious life. My name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi, and joining me in the studio today, where we'll be discussing the role of religion in a democratic governance, is Bishop Peter Ogumuyiwa, Archbishop Peter Ogumuyiwa of the African Church Province of Abuja and the North, is also the co-chairman Kano State Interreligious Commission. Archbishop, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening to our audience.
And we have an itinerant imam who I believe most of us will know him. He is the co-chair of Interfaith Mediation Center. They have been involved in peace work throughout the world. His name is Imam Nurain Ashafa. Imam, you are welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, our viewers and audience at the same time.
Thank you so much. With them, we will be discussing the role of religion in democratic governance. and you will discover that these two great religious leaders, you will learn new things by the time we start. But before we start, let me quickly read some of the messages which we have received in the past few days. This man writes, he said, "This is one of the best program on NTA. I want to appeal to National Communication Commission to regulate this program such that it should be broadcasted in all TV stations in Nigeria." Oguche Gabriel from Port Harcourt. Archbishop, did you hear that Mr. Oguche said the Communication Commission should make sure that it's being run by all the media stations in Nigeria?
Many of our listeners have also expressed such opinion, and because this is an NTA program, it will be difficult to now hear it on all other.
No, but the NTA has said that anybody who wants to join, only what they need is to write. Okay. For example, a radio station has joined Radio Nigeria. Also broadcast it every Sunday between 5 to 6.
I think this fellow is talking about the private
the private station has joined Citizen FM. Okay. They broadcast it. In fact, they also rebroadcast it so many other times after they pick it. So many people are also showing interest. All what you need to do is just to write to NTA Director General, and I believe they will be giving the approval.
So one doesn't need to go to National Communication Commission to get an approval for it to do. And I believe all others, fellow Nigerians, media houses should be able to join these stations, because it's especially radio houses, because the message need to go to the grassroots.
Yes, radio houses. Yes. This one say, "I appreciate you, sir, for the program, and the two women there with you. Keep it up." Kelechi from Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. That was time we have two of our mothers in the studio. Another person said, "Distinguished discussants, this program and the discussants are the best I've seen in NTA. Do sustain the program. I wish to particularly commend Most Reverend Bishop on the program. This day, yours, Jola Badmos." Incidentally, the same Reverend that is also the Bishop that is also on seat.
Thank you for your compliments. We will continue to do our best to make sure that the Word of God is properly interpreted and presented to the public.
Thank you so much. This one say, "It is a misfortune to merit integrity, capacity, and ability to use religion and ethnic sentiment to manipulate people to vote. It will not help us as a nation." From Workman Teachers Volunteers.
Thank you.
Another man say, "Good evening, sir. Thank you for this program. I agree with Archbishop 100%. I wish all of us can share his perception on the political issue on ground." Bayo from Lagos. Incidentally, he's also here.
Thank you very much.
Shed more light on it. This one say, "Good evening, sir. I say I thank the Archbishop." Where is it everybody attacking him? Yeah, I wish I will not say to thank him. I thank the Archbishop for his perspective on Muslim ticket. Now I can understand the position of Khan. However, Muslim and Christian leaders must come together to stress the need for our togetherness as Nigerians and talk less on what is dividing us.
Yes, sir.
You know, I said Dr. Mutiu Agboke from Abeokuta. I think this man is a big man. A kind of link between all these Ogun people. So you are welcome, Dr. Mutiu Agboke. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
I'm not thanking you. I'm thanking
Dr. Mutiu Agboke. I'm thanking him. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. Thank you. This one says, "My names are Msu Anzenge." I don't know whether I pronounce it correctly. He said, "I love this program so much. I greet the pastor. I greet the pastor and the imam in the studio. I am the follower of this program. This program has helped my life and family and transformed my ways of thinking. Thank you. Thanks to everyone."
And these are the reason why more media houses need to connect to NTA and be able to join this, so that that awareness for people to know that we are one family under God, for us to promote it the more.
This man is still thanking Archbishop. He said, "Thank you, kind man, Archbishop. You are making so much sense. God bless you, Ben Odera."
God bless you too, Ben. God bless you.
Those who are thanking, who are appreciating. This man says, "Good evening, Sheikh, the presenter. My greetings also goes to your guests. I so much like the program. I have been following it on NTA. Even the repeat broadcast, I learned a lot from it. I am hearing it on Radio Nigeria for the first time. He said, kudos, please keep it up. I am Josephat Owuzurike, Social Joe, texting from Owerri, Imo State. Thank you so much, Mr. Owuzurike. This one will be the last that will be taken for these messages. We'll go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll now go into the main topic of discussion. Don't go away. Yeah, welcome back. You are just joining us. This is Abrahamic Mission, and our topic today is the role of religion in a democratic governance. And joining me in the studio today is Imam Nuren Nashafa from Interfaith Mediation, co-chairman, Interfaith Mediation Center, Kaduna State. Imam, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
And we have the Archbishop of the African Church, Provost of Abuja, and also the province of Abuja, and also the co-chairman, Kano State Interreligious Commission. He is Archbishop Peter Ogumuyiwa. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
I know you have all seen it. What we are seeing now, that we are in a democratic governance, and one of the main process that stand democratic governance out is close by. That is electioneering, politicking. Everything is in the air now. To you, I will start from Bishop, Archbishop. Democracy, what's your thinking about it as far as religion is concerned?
Well, thank you very much. The general acceptable definition of democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And when we look at this and search the scripture, you will see that even God himself is the author of democracy. God himself in the Bible says, come, let us make man in our own image. God works in pluralism. God, in everything he does, he brings people together. There's a scripture, a passage, a text of the scripture that says, come, let us reason together. Any attempts to involve one or two persons in the affairs of your life has the democratic tendency in it. So, and then when you look at the scripture,